Hey friends, Jocelyn Mozak here. I wanted to hop on and give a long overdue update. It's probably been a month, maybe even a month and a half since last time I chatted with you guys. And a lot has happened, both in my treatment and just what I've learned about what it means to be stage 4 and just my own processing. To kind of give the backstory, on October 13th, I went in for surgery for a tumor in my brain, which was breast cancer, and thereby making my cancer diagnosis, where in the past it was kind of considered stage 2 when it was in the chest and the lymph nodes, stage 4. And my perspective was, okay, this is just like cancer. I've done this before. You do surgery, you do chemo, you knock it out, you do the things, and then you're done. And what I came to learn is stage 4 is a very different animal. Stage 4 has almost the story with stage 4 is that you don't beat it. You simply extend time. And that takes a hell of a lot to wrap one's head around. That's like, excuse me, can we talk? I'm not cool with that. And I had to have conversations like I've entered my therapist's office with, let's talk about death. And I've had to go through the process of being angry. And there was a week and a half where I did nothing but cry. And I feel like for the most part, I've kind of come out the other side. In the last month and a half, I have had radiation, and I've started chemotherapy. Now, the other difference with stage 4 I'm learning is chemotherapy isn't the same as the way they hit the earlier stages, in that they're not using the big guns anymore. They're using more tolerable guns because the goal is to extend life. And so the goal becomes quality of life, not just hit hard and move on. Because when the cancer is in a local region like the breast or the lymph nodes, it's considered contained, and they still use the language of curing. Once it gets from its original site to somewhere else in the body, they no longer consider that they can cure it. It is in the bloodstream, it is in the body, and it is a lifelong battle to keep it either in check or, submission back, but it is never considered ever again to be cured. So the difference becomes the drugs need to be a little more tolerable than your traditional chemotherapy. That doesn't mean they're nothing. Some of the drugs I'm on do kill fast-growing cells, and I'm dealing with some side effects. So I'm working on figuring out how to live in this new normal where the reality of what's going on is kind of in my face every day. When you're dealing with side effects, you don't get to just pretend that everything's fine. It doesn't exist. No, you have a daily reminder of what you're dealing with. But I've been able to shift my perspective. A lot of my tears initially were about the perspective that we're entitled to life. You're taking 40 years away from me. I'm entitled to live till I'm 85, 90, whatever. And realizing that I was never entitled to a single day. That each day is a gift. And I may be gifted with 5 years. I may be gifted with 2 years. I might be gifted with 20 years. We don't know. We know that right now I am alive. And right now I am doing everything I know how to do, both conventionally doing chemotherapy, nutritionally working with a naturopath, emotionally I have my therapist, energetically with acupuncture. I am doing the things to live. I am also doing the very real things of we need to do family photos. And I need to check on my will. And I need to do all the things that actually we all need to do, right? Because again, we feel entitled to life, but we don't necessarily have a guarantee. There's the common statement of I could get hit by a bus. The difference when you're stage 4 is you kind of know which bus is probably going to get you. But at the same time, we don't know when. We never know when. And part of my challenge is living in gratitude, living in strength, living in the glass is half full, having the conversations with myself of what's my bucket list. And I figured out I actually really don't have much of a bucket list. I am so grateful for my life. I have gone to prestigious schools. I've had a corporate job. I've raised 2 boys I couldn't be prouder of. I've started my own business. I've been a keynote speaker. Like, outside of holding grandkids, I've done all the things. I really don't have a bucket list. But also talking to my husband about what memories does he want to ensure he has in this life, and let's make sure we together do all the bucket lists. And just navigating things, quality over quantity, because I may not have quantity, but yet I might. We don't know. And so it's one day at a time, but I really needed to go underground for a month to go through all the emotions, and I'm sure I'm not done. I just know that I went through a period of being in shock, and then grieving, being very sad, and then coming to a place of resolve of, okay, I have to accept this reality, but how can I now live, thrive, and without denying it, not let it consume me and consume those I love? How can I live? And so I am doing my best to live, and I don't know what it's going to look like. I don't know what it's going to mean. I don't know if it's going to be pretty. I don't know if it's going to be ugly. I don't know how many pretty days I'll have. I don't know how many ugly days I'll have. But it hammers home to me the fact of do any of us. Do any of us. And so I guess it's timely for this season of holidays and togetherness to realize what matters in this life. I am blessed that I frankly don't feel like I have regrets. I don't have really much I would look back on and say I wish I had. I may have found being home raising my children challenging at times, painful at times, but I am so grateful I made those choices. And so I feel like I have lived and continue to live a life that I really am blessed to not regret, and to see that every choice made along the way and every experience is part of my journey, part of my story. And so, while this is not anything anyone wants to deal with, this is my story, and so I will see how it unfolds. Much blessings to every single one of you in this holiday season. Thank you so much for being in my life. Thank you for your notes, your gifts, your love, your thoughts, your prayers, all of it. And just know that even when I'm quiet, even when I don't always have, for this last month, I've been wanting to come live. I've come live to you so many times in my brain, and yet I just couldn't publicly because I was really going underground and finding my own strength again, allowing myself to feel, allowing myself to fall apart, allowing myself to find myself again. And I needed to be in that place of strength before I could connect with the outside world. And so thankfully, thank you for giving me that space and loving me through it. Much love to you all.